Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another video, and it's not a watch me work because I'm not working. These are my own hands, and I'm just going to be showing you how I created this look. I guess I was bored and wanted to record something, and this is what I came up with. So this set is pretty fun. There's a new Swarovski crystal color that I use. These are glow in the dark, as you can see, little ombre, and they're also done with builder gel and builder in a bottle from the gel bottle ink. So they're super blingy, as you can see. I just wanted to insert these clips of just how sparkly they are, and I know they're a little out of focus, but that really catches the bling. They do really bling so good, you guys, and I'll give you more details about these crystals a little later in the video, so stay tuned, of course. So first we're going to go over the builder in a bottle nail bed colors or French colors. These are 3. I have some more, but these were the best I thought for nail bed. And this is number 20, and this is the one I went with. And this is number 18. And you can see I have a little sample on my little dusty looking nail. And this is number 19. I think all 3 of them look good for nail bed colors, depending on what you want to go with and your complexion. And then I use these glow powders from Wildflowers, these pigments, the green and the aqua one. And then I'm using the French white builder gel and the clear builder gel, and they're both the gel pots from the gel bottle ink. And so first we're going to start off with prep. So I just sprayed my hands with alcohol, and I do this because it kind of softens the cuticle that's on the nail plate. So when we kind of push those back, it's not, cuticle softener, but just because it's moisturizing. And then I also like it because it is partially, cleansing the the person's hands, all in the nail folds and everything like that. So I just really like using alcohol for that step, and it isn't moisturizing, it's more drying, and that's kind of what we need in nail prep to make sure there's no oil on the surface of the nails. So that's why I really like to use that. So I went ahead and pushed the cuticle back that was on the plate of the nail, and then I'm going in with a skiver bit and removing any additional cuticle or anything that didn't lift off when I pushed it back. And I'm also going over the entirety of the nail just to buff the surface and create a texture so that our nails last longer and it's not a slick surface, because if you put something slick on a surface with nails, just think about it, it'll slide right off because it's slippery. So you want to create texture. So then I went ahead and glued my tips. These were originally longer stiletto tips. I cut them short, and then I'm going in with this curved set of nail clippers, and I'm cutting the sides in. It kind of gives that curved look. You can use straight, it doesn't matter, but I just like to take the little bulk out of the sides because we are bringing them in so far to make them stilettos, and that'll save your hand. So then I just went and filed and shaped them. Next, I'm using the gel pot French white builder gel, and I'm pouring in some of the glow powders, and I did a mix because I kind of wanted it in between that aqua and that green look. So I'm just doing about even amounts, and I don't know the exact ratio for this. Maybe on the Wildflower site, I don't know. I just kind of mix both of the products together until I like the texture. I made sure it was evenly distributed, and I also made sure that it still glowed very nicely. Is glowed the correct? Glued? No, that's not right. Glowed. And I added a little more of the product because I felt like it was too kind of pasty and wouldn't move around easily and kind of level. So I just added a little more. And then we're going to go ahead and start the process. So I'm using the rubber base coat, the number 20 builder in a bottle. And then I'm showing you the brushes from Alpha brushes. And I'm using the number 6 short oval for the majority of any brush use that I need. And then we're going to be prepping with acetone. And I do want to add, I do have a coupon code for Alpha, so look for that below. And you just prep the nail with acetone. That's per Gel Bottle Ink's instructions and recommendations. So I just use the acetone to dehydrate the nail and cleanse the nail. And I just kind of poured it on, and I kind of wiped it a little bit just to make sure it dried out and the nail was, perfectly clean. And then I'm going in with the rubber base coat, and I'm just applying it on the natural nail and a little bit to blend the tip in. It doesn't say to do that. That's just what I do. I don't know why it makes me feel comfortable. It's my own thing. And but I didn't put it over the whole, nail tip down to the free edge. And then I went ahead and cured that. And now I'm going in with the white glow mixture that we made. And then I'm using majority on the tip because they're doing an ombre. So I do it on the tip. And I'm basically kind of trying to conceal not only where the nail tip meets the, is glued to the nail plate, but I also want to conceal my own natural free edge. So that's kind of my goal, and also to fade it as well. So I'm just making sure that's covered. And then I'm kind of blending it up a little bit, making sure that it's less on the nail plate so we can kind of get that ombre look. You don't want to do a harsh line. And I'm just going with the same principles that I use when doing an ombre with acrylic, you know, kind of fading the white up and then bringing the nail bed color down and making any adjustments when necessary. So I'm just doing that, and you can see me blending it up and making sure it kind of, you know, goes from more concentrated on the tip and free edge area and fades up on the nail bed. And I do want to add, sometimes when I do ombres, I do the French part, like the white part, second. So I'll put the nail bed color and then the glitter or the white, whatever I'm blending up. But I really find and think that it's better to do the French part, the white part first in this, and then bring the nail bed color over it. So that would be my biggest tip or trick with this process, is go ahead and do, you know, the white first, or whatever color you're using when doing the builder gel, and then do the nail bed color second or last. So I found after I did this first layer that you can kind of still see where my free edge is, and this is the blend after the first layer. So I just went ahead and added a second layer to kind of conceal that even more, that kind of line where my free edge is and where the nail tip is also. So I just went ahead and applied a second coat, and I did it the exact same way. I kind of concentrated it more on the tip and blended it back into the nail bed. And then after that, I went ahead and cured. And these, I just did them all at once. And then I went ahead, because they don't move around too much. They are slightly self-leveling, I would say. But not, you know, the worst where they're going to run everywhere. So I kind of did all of those and then put them in the light. And when I do the nail bed color right here, I cure these one at a time. I flash cure them. So then I'm taking the nail bed color, as you can see, and I'm concentrated it more so right at the cuticle area. And then I'm blending it down. I'm using less and less product to go down towards the free edge. And then I do about 3 coats, so you know want to make sure use the same principle every time and kind of perfect it each layer. So I'm going ahead again, applying it more concentrated towards the cuticle area. I know that is technically the eponychium, but you know, as we all mostly do, we call that the cuticle area because that's where it grows out from on the nail plate. And so that's the blend after the first layer. And then again, I'm flash curing after each nail. And then once I get all 5 of them done, well, at this point I'm just doing 4 because I have my thumb done ahead of time. I'm curing them all for the appropriate amount of time, which is 30 seconds. And making sure they're completely cured. But I just flash cure for about 10 seconds just to make sure it doesn't move around, because this is very self-leveling. So it will self-level, but then it'll also go beyond where you want it to go. So you want to make sure you kind of flash cure. So now I'm going in with a second coat. You want to make sure you get as close to the cuticle area without actually touching your skin. And then I'm blending it down, and you can see I'm basically using a kind of a light pressure to kind of move the product down a little bit. And I am kind of, you know, covering the white, and if I get too much, you can see I kind of wiped it off a little bit. You do kind of have to play with this a little more, I found, to kind of get it right, get that blend looking right, more so than acrylic. I do want to add that I'm not a gel nail tech. Like, I don't use builder gel. That's not my medium that I guess I would say that I specialize in or anything. So this is just what I found and logically to me would work. So this is how it looks after I did those first layers. And then I found that this tied it together. I just took a small amount, like I was using a gel polish, real thin, not building it. And I took it towards the cuticle area and brushed down just real thin, like I said, like it's just regular gel polish. And I found that that really just brought the whole ombre together at that point. And I was really pleased with how it came out. I didn't have any problem with it. even though this was kind of my first kind of go around with it. I really thought it looked good. So then I'm just going to encapsulate and kind of build up. You can see how the nail looks. It needs to be built up a little bit, and towards, you know, the apex area and everything. And it also needs to be encapsulated, so when you file, you don't file off the blend between the pink and the white, because we have that perfect. So I suggest, even when you're using acrylic, sorry, you want to encapsulate. I find that that really helps, and it's probably another tip or trick that I really, really recommend. Get your blend right and then go in and encapsulate. Even though it's not glitter or it's not, you know, anything like that, and you don't feel the need to encapsulate, I really recommend it so you don't file off your blend. So then I'm showing you the crystals I'm using. These are Swarovski Crystal Shimmer. And shimmer is the effect, kind of like how AB is. So there's different colors. You can get like a aquamarine shimmer, or a clear shimmer, or a jet shimmer. Just, you know, throwing out examples. And so this is the crystal shimmer that I'm using. And then I'm using this color. This is an iridescent sheer color, and it's like iridescent blue, kind of pink. And it really brought out the color that are in the Swarovski crystals, because they, if you're familiar with the crystal AB, they reflect kind of pink, orange, a little bit of blue, maybe purple. But these kind of have that same effect. They have different colors, but it's kind of blue, yellow, a little bit of purple, and a slight green situation. And so I just wanted to use this color, that iridescent color, to kind of go over the nail. You can still see the ombre, you can still see the glow in the dark really, really well. And that just kind of tied that kind of blue type color and the little bit of pink and purple it flashes together. And I really just like a iridescent nail on myself. So I'm going in, I'm doing, you know, Cuticle Bling. That's my thing, that's my jam when I do my own nails. I know it's, you know, common and we see it all the time, but I just like it every time. It's so elegant to me. So usually when I get a chance to do my nails, this is something that I like to do. And this is my accent nail. And they're all kind of different, but I wanted to put this one with the most bling. I know it's kind of cliche, the whole ring finger, but whatever, do what you like. I'm doing my own nails, so I'm doing them how I like, you know. So they're all gonna have like a variation of some type of little cuticle bling. I didn't put that much on the pointer finger, because when I work, I just mess that one up anyways. And so I do a little bit more on the thumb because it is bigger, so we can also do something a little bit more fancy on there. And then after I went ahead and applied the crystals to all the nails, I of course went ahead and sealed them in how I normally do, and watch any of my past videos. And a lot of times I go over that, and I just seal around them with the OPI Axiom top coat. But I top coated the entire nail with the Gel Bottle Ink Extreme Shine top coat. And look how blingy these crystals are. And you can see those colors I was telling you, that blue, that kind of yellow gold, a little bit purple, green, and a little bit of pink in there also at certain angles. So you have to check these out. All the shimmers are really beautiful, and they're just like a new effect from Swarovski. And I think they're just made so they reflect, you know, more color, more blingy, and that's what they do. So I'm showing you, you can see that iridescent color that I applied over the entirety of the nail, just that kind of blue tinge to it. And these look so beautiful in the dark as well, as you can see. And the camera doesn't do the color justice. It really does fall between the aqua and the normal green type glow that you usually see. And, you know, you can mix the glow colors together to create other effects. So go ahead and experiment with that. So if you guys have any other questions or want any additional information, please look in the description box, or go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll try to get back to you. Please don't forget to thumbs up. That really helps me out. And of course, you have to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.